Time to do a podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Quack Shack podcast. Our tour is pretty much over, but we're going to roll into, try to do, I don't know, maybe 8 videos during the summertime, but we're here in, just, where are we at?
We're in Esther, Louisiana.
Esther's like south of Lafayette?
Way south of Lafayette.
Way south of Lafayette.
We're about as far south as you can go to the west side. We're close to Pecan Island, which is a huge
That's right,
duck
30
hunting
like
area.
30 minutes.
30 minutes from Pecan Island.
If you heard of Louisiana duck hunting, you've probably heard of Pecan Island or like Venice.
Yeah,
you know
Venice,
what I mean?
Pecan Island, White Lakes and Pecan Island. A lot
Yeah.
of people know about White Lakes.
Yeah. But we're here with Seth Chapman. You've probably seen his face for many different reasons. If you've seen him before, it's probably because of, I don't know, duck hunting or his business videos he does with his businesses, or if you've known him for a long time, like I have, is because of the truck scene. So I started following Seth, I think, would we say like 11 years?
2014, most likely. I think that's whenever I started on Instagram.
Yeah.
The early Instagram days.
Yeah, and I don't even know how I started following you, to be honest, like I was telling you earlier, but it's been a long time. And then several years ago, I think we got in touch on Snapchat somehow.
Yeah.
And then we exchanged numbers or something last year.
Yeah, that's what it
And
was.
I was coming to Lafayette, and I was like, I got to go see him. You know, we talked for all these years, but so a little runaround or background on Seth is, I mean, he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I got my hand on a lot of stuff.
But we're gonna dive into a little bit of everything of your background. But one thing we like to do is dive into your story of, you know, obviously it's a waterfowl based podcast, but we talk about everything. But we try to dive into the background of like how you got started, who you got started with. You know, you're in Louisiana. Oh yeah, that's all you. Thank you, Lone Star. We love Lone Star. This is a Texas beer, so if you
it tastes good in Louisiana though.
it tastes good everywhere, dude. I wish I wanted to take it to Canada, but obviously it's not like a doable thing.
Yeah, no.
But if you're ever in Texas, you know, or if you live in Texas, a lot of our followers are Texas people, but drink Lone Star. Thank you. So let's dive into your story, which is, I feel like I'm going to let you talk here in a minute, but this is one thing I was talking to my buddy Logan about that turned me on to you years ago. You're 32 years old, but I feel like you've done a lot. You've lived a lot of lifetimes.
A lifetime by 32. Yeah, I've said that. I get that comment a lot. So I mean, it goes way back from being introduced to hunting whenever I was little. You know, 6, 7 years old, hunting with my dad. He worked offshore a lot. Whenever he was in hunting season, he would take me hunting, and I fell in love with it early on. And it's just funny that this is where we are now. You know, hunting's changed so much over the years. But I can skip most of my childhood, most of my teen years, and start probably around the age of 19, 20. I moved out early on in life. Moved out at 19. Bought my own house at 20. Got married to my first wife at 21. And we did a lot of hunting together. I mean, that was our thing, hunting and trucks. And it was just like when
Who's that? You and your wife?
Me and my wife. Yeah, we did a lot of hunting together. And then the truck thing is how I met everybody on Instagram and built this following. And it's so crazy to think about the relationships you build early on, 10, 11 years ago, and people I still talk to from across the world. You know, I talk to people all the time that some people I've never met. You know, 10, 11 years we talk once a week.
Yeah.
It's very interesting the relationships you build on social media.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So yeah, what do you want to know? Where should I start? The business, the hunting.
Let's talk about your. Let's dive into your hunting background. You're in Louisiana, southern Louisiana, Sportsman's Paradise.
Yeah.
You know, you can drive. How far are we from the Gulf?
Oh, so
20 minutes.
Through if as the crow flies through the marsh right here, we're about 6 miles
from
the Gulf
across
the marsh.
But the way the roads work in Louisiana, because all the
The
everything,
way the
what,
roads
20
work,
minutes?
not even. So we have Intracoastal City right here. It
Yeah.
used to be a huge hub. It's kind of died down now that the oil field's dead. But Intracoastal City was a Venice. It was a home. It was a Grand Isle.
Mhm.
It was a freshwater city. It was a Rockport, Texas. It was
Right.
a big central place that all the boats left out of, all the helicopter bases were out of, and this is 5 minutes down the road. It's Vermilion Bay, of course. A
Yeah.
lot of people fish out of Vermilion Bay, which turns into the Gulf,
Yeah.
right away. We're 5 minutes from it.
Yeah. So you grew up in Lafayette area.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you grew up in Sportsman Paradise. And I know a lot of your background, but like tell us how you got started in not necessarily waterfowl. Like what was the first thing you did? Like who took you hunting and where'd y'all go do?
So the first person I've ever gone hunting with, of course, was my dad. As a young kid, and I remember we would shoot this 120 gauge, real long Winchester pump 20 gauge.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it had a 30-inch barrel on it. I don't know why it would have, but I think it did.
Yeah.
It was super hard to hold up, and he bought me my first gun probably around, I don't know, 10 years old, a little 410. Um, and I mean, we hunted hard, and I hunted with my best friend Blake.
Mhm.
And they've had this lease for, and I could be speaking wrong on the amount of years, but probably 70 plus years.
Mm.
His grandpa had it. It's possible that his great grandpa had it, and it's on some Vermilion Corporation land. Vermilion Corporation was a huge land corporation that just
Right.
owned a bunch of land, and they would subdivide leases out. And this is, as the crow flies, 10 miles through the marsh.
Yeah.
Either direction is thousands of acres.
Mhm.
And the ducks were so plentiful back then. I mean, you would go out, you'd shoot your mallards you'd want, you'd shoot your pintails, you'd wait until the pintails started flying.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this was pre-Hurricane Rita, so
Right.
pre-2005. I remember, like, I was born in '92. I'm considerably young, but I remember hunting around the 99-ish area.
Yeah.
98, 99. I was 7 or 8 years old. And I remember that because it wasn't 2000 yet.
Yeah.
And there was just so many birds. It was
I
it
can
was
only
so totally
imagine.
different.
Yeah.
We have Gaydon right up the road, and
Uh-huh.
Gaydon was the duck capital of the world for
Yeah.
forever. I think Stuttgart has it now. But
The title don't mean nothing, dude. That's not true.
it
no
still
more.
says it on the sign.
Yeah.
You drive into Gaydon, it has
It's
duck
still
capital of the
a
world.
place to go hunt for
Yeah,
sure.
they have the annual duck festival.
Yeah.
So, me and Blake Morgan, he's actually my little girl's godfather too. Me and him and a couple of our friends, we would hunt, let's say, into our teens. Once we started driving, we'd get in the boat. They own a fuel dock of the road, so the boats
okay.
stay on the water.
Yeah.
They have a fuel dock called Shell Morgan Landing.
Uh-huh.
Very, very well-known fuel dock around here. All the boats fill up over there.
Yeah.
And we get in the boat and we go drive to the marsh, and they have this little pontoon. They have this barge with a little camp on it. We stay the whole weekend.
Oh yeah.
We wouldn't shower. We'd cook what we catch,
Oh, yeah.
we'd catfish and whatever. So me and Blake did so much hunting early on. I mean,
Yeah.
Christmas break, we'd go spend a week out there or something.
Yeah.
It was real neat. And that was into our teen years and up into our adulthood. Me and Blake hunted a day the other day,
Yeah.
So we still hunt a lot together.
Yeah.
And that's where most of my hunting came from. My godfather would take me a lot hunting, and now I return the favor and I take my dad places, and we go
Yeah.
to Arkansas,
Yeah.
we go all over. I've been hunting a long time. I think about it, 32 now, so 25 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to think that it's
That's
happened that quick,
crazy,
but
yeah.
it goes quick, 25 years.
Guys, turtle box speakers, if you don't know about them, you must have been living under a rock. These things are the most durable, waterproof, loudest outdoor speaker that you can have. We take these things on the boat in the summertime, in the wintertime. We take them to the holes with us. Like I said, they're durable. You don't even, like, if you have two, you can just throw that one out to the side right there and grab your other one. They're super durable. If you've seen their marketing on Turtle Box's Instagram, they run them over with monster trucks, they freeze them, they toss them as high as they can. Super durable, waterproof, and they've got a port in the back where you can charge your phone. Definitely by far the best speaker on the market. Check them out at turtleboxaudio.com. Check them out on Instagram at turtleboxaudio.
Yeah, that's
Killed
crazy.
a lot of different birds.
Do you remember the first bird you shot?
Oh yeah, first bird I ever shot was a gray duck gadwall.
Yeah, I love a gray duck.
That's my favorite. It's honestly my favorite bird to kill.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's probably my second favorite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you could tell me we're gonna go shoot a 2 man gray ducks tomorrow, I would be so excited.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
it.
them, dude, and they're beautiful.
So many
birds.
people are gonna be like, "Oh, of course you're killing gray ducks in Louisiana," but
Yeah.
no,
No,
we
dude.
do. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
They are very plentiful down here in a place a little bit south of Pecan Island, and
Yeah.
it's different. It's funny how different areas, 3 or 4 miles through the marsh, you're gonna kill pintail in one area, and
Yeah.
you'll never kill one over here.
Right.
But we kill gray ducks.
Right. So talk a little. You kind of mentioned before Hurricane Rita.
Yeah.
About like, so I didn't start hunting until like 15 years ago.
Okay.
So, and you're 3 or 4 years older than
Yeah.
me. So like, I never got to hunt before the 2000s or before,
That's right.
before that. And I'm not from here either. So do you think that hurricane affected
Oh, yeah.
the flyway a little bit?
It affected it so much.
Yeah.
It might have even changed it. So Hurricane Rita was September 23rd, 2005. I remember it well. We lost our house for it. It was catastrophic for this entire area. Cameron Parish to Houma. I mean, it was bad in this whole area.
Yeah.
Well, if you were going hunting in this area, you knew you were going to limit out. It didn't matter what you were going to kill. You might have killed 6 teal, but you knew if you had 6 people, you were killing 6 limits.
Yeah.
And it changed everybody's perspective on hunting around after Rita because the birds weren't there. It took years for the birds to come back.
Yeah.
And I mean it affected a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Where we're sitting right now, I mean we used to come back pre-hurricane with trash bags of birds.
Yeah.
We go with 15
crazy,
people, we kill
man.
15 limits, and it's funny we took advantage of it because the birds
Of course.
the birds aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
Not in Louisiana. The flyway's changed.
100%.
And this is where this was the X.
Yeah.
People talk about the X, Pecan Island and this area.
I've talked to a lot of people over the years about like just the history of waterfowl. I like to talk to the older guys, and I've talked to a ton of people that talk about the Pecan Island and everywhere around here. Like it's a very, it was a sought after place to go hunt back in the day.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was the duck capital of the world, and Pecan Island has a lot of history itself.
That's it.
And I remember hearing and seeing pictures of like people coming down here and just shooting a bunch of birds, man. And like, I haven't hunted Louisiana much, but I know a lot of people in Louisiana, and I just know they don't kill birds like they used to.
Oh, you sure don't. The best thing we have is teal season now.
Yeah.
I mean,
now,
look, we
teal
grind them
season,
out. Teal
wear 'em
season's
out.
amazing. Oh, we wear them out. Yeah. It's teal season's like pre-Hurricane Rita. You go 15 people on a levee just standing up, you're gonna kill 15
yeah.
limits.
I mean, it's the same thing on the coast of Texas, dude.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like El Campo, you familiar with that area?
Yeah.
It was like the goose capital of the world at one point, and like my dad. And not my dad didn't hunt, but like guys his age, all my buddies' dads that hunted where we live, they would go down there and hunt, and they would just wear them out. And like down on the coast, like they still kill quite a few birds down there, but like nothing like they used to. But teal season is a different story. You can go down there and teal hunt and wear them out. I know some guys that work at the Drake Plantation down there in Winnie, Texas, and they wear them out, and duck season's just not, I mean, they kill their fair amount of birds. Don't get me wrong. It's still a very reputable place to go hunt, but it's nothing like it used to be. And it's crazy to think about. I never really thought about it here, but I remember hearing stories about like people coming to South Louisiana to duck hunt and seeing these pictures, and they're just wearing them out. And you just don't hear that no more.
Oh, it doesn't happen really. I mean, like you'll have a few amazing farms around here, but you basically have to have 1,000+ acres and only hunt 100 of it, and have the birds just have somewhere to rest. And the hunting pressure is so bad. I hate to say it, but after the whole duck commander thing, everybody became a duck hunter, and then Louisiana just seemed like it was so saturated with a bunch of duck hunters, and these farmers were taking advantage of it. If they had 100 acres, they put 10 blinds on it, and they were making $5,000 a blind and bankrolling their whole
do that in
farm
Arkansas.
crop. Yeah. So like naturally, you can't blame the farmers for making a killing on
You
it.
got to make your money.
And then every one of these guys that never shot guns before was like, yeah, I'm a duck hunter now.
Yeah.
So the pressure is amazing. And then, and look, we don't have a lot of public out around here, so you almost can't blame the loud gator tails like some people do on the pressure. I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I think it's just the flyways moved, and there are so many hunters now that the birds have nowhere to rest.
Yeah.
And
I agree
we see
100%.
it. Yeah.
I agree 100%. I mean, I'm not a genius by any means.
Yeah.
And I'm not no waterfowl biologist, but if you think about it, if you just do, it's simple math. Listen, like Arkansas, they don't kill like you can still go up there and kill some birds, but nothing like it used to be 10 years ago when I first duck hunted
Yeah.
in Arkansas. You know what I mean? So if Arkansas isn't getting the numbers that they used to, Louisiana's not getting the numbers they used to, East and Southeast Texas isn't getting the numbers they used to, but Oklahoma, you go to Oklahoma, you wear them out.
Yeah.
You go to Kansas,
Kansas
wear them out.
Yeah.
That tells you right there.
It's
shifted.
shifted.
That's simple math.
Yeah.
To me, it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it adds up.
And we hunted Oklahoma and Kansas the last 2 years and wore
them out.
Yeah, Canada too. And Canada's Canada.
I took him to Oklahoma this year and that was his first like boys trip.
Yeah.
And he had a blast.
Oh,
we wore him out.
Oklahoma's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the outfit we went to, but it was Flyover State.
Yep.
Oh, it was so
familiar with
fun.
them.
Yeah, we killed sandhills over there. I mean, it was an awesome hunt.
Yeah.
Well,
next time you get ready to book a hunt anywhere, you just let me know first. I'll get you hooked up
I like
with
that.
somebody.
Yeah, that's what we said. As soon as our little girl's old enough that
Yeah.
we want to leave her for a week or something. She's 9 months, but
Yeah.
as soon as she's old enough, we were hunting a lot. Like we were getting our hunting.
You hunted a lot.
Yeah.
She hunts with you all the time,
She hunts with
right?
me every hunt. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were doing Canada and another out of state trip plus 2 or 3 Arkansas trips a year plus Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like the last 3 years was Canada, Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We were hitting them back to back. She was actually pregnant with Lily in Canada. We didn't even know.
Oh, wow.
It. Yeah.
Really?
Not this past year because obviously she was just born.
Yeah.
But last 2023, she was pregnant with Lily and we didn't even know it in Canada.
Oh, wow.
We was shooting, snows and
Yeah.
having a blast.
Having a blast. That's funny. We've partnered with Mallard Bay to make booking your next trip even easier. Go to mallardbay.com. Once it's up, you'll see a different variety of things you can choose from. Recently booked trips, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the different states that you can tap into. The easiest way is to click the Start Your Adventure tab, type in a location or species, for instance, Oklahoma duck hunt. Click it, it'll show up all the outfitters. We're going to click Prairie Creek. Scroll down, you'll see the different packages that you can book. Select your dates, continue, see the total, create an account, pay for your hunt, and you're ready to go. If you're looking to book a new trip or a trip for friends and family, go to mallardbay.com and get on your next adventure. So you obviously waterfowl hunt. We've talked about that. What all did you get into at a young age and still to this day down here?
Oh man.
Like hunting. You not a big deer hunter.
Not
we
a
talked
big deer
about
hunter.
that.
I just got my first bow and started practicing. My buddy Brock convinced me to do it, and I think I'm gonna try and kill me a deer. I started watching them on camera and I'm tracking them and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not good at it yet though. Like I'm good at waterfowl hunting. I'm not a deer hunter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's a
learn
different story, man.
It
Like it's totally different. I grew up a deer hunter, and I've killed many deer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And when I say this, I mean it. Like the first time I went duck hunting in high school, 15 years ago, I was literally hooked.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we do this for a living for the most part, but like I've probably deer hunted 3 times in the past 15 years.
Yeah.
After I shot that first bird, like I love to deer hunt.
Fast pace. I like the fast pace.
I like shooting the deer. I don't like sitting in the stand waiting on a deer. I love deer meats.
Yeah.
Way better than duck meat. I
It
think
is,
most
yeah.
people can agree to that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
But
I give half the ducks I shoot away.
yeah, I give a lot of my duck away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we keep very little throughout the year for ourselves. But so you're getting into deer hunting. What you
So I do a lot of hog hunting too.
hog hunting?
We are
Really?
loaded up with hogs over here.
Wear them out?
Oh yeah, we'll thermal hunt them. And we do all kind of stuff. I feed them. The reason we don't have deer is because we got so many hogs. Hogs populate.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rate is. I'm not a biologist, but 10 times as fast as
it's insane.
as deer. So they run all the deer away. They eat all the food. They run them away.
I'm
tear up the land.
hoping the same thing that happened for us happens for y'all. So 2022, we had Snowmageddon is what they called it.
Yeah,
It was insane. Y'all got it this year.
yeah, we did. It was
Y'all got-
amazing.
Y'all, I don't think
There was 12 inches right here.
they said it had never snowed that much ever, or
In my whole life, my
since the
dad's whole life.
1800s.
Yeah.
I heard something. I don't remember what
Yeah,
it was.
was it like the 1890s maybe?
Something like that. How crazy was that?
I've never seen snow before. I've never traveled anywhere to see snow. I've never gone
Yeah.
skiing or anything. I'm a
Yeah.
little Louisiana boy. I stay
Yeah.
here. So it was so cool to go outside and build a snowman with my little girl.
Yeah.
And, she's not going to remember it, but we got
In front of the
pictures.
swamp.
Yeah, in front of the swamp. Yeah. It was neat. That was real cool. And we went to all my favorite spots around here and took pictures in different places. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that snow was neat.
Yeah. So in 2022, when we got that snowmageddon, a lot of people think it knocked a dent in our hog population in
Really?
East Texas. Yeah. I mean, like, we're still overran,
Yeah.
but like it was insane, dude. It was
Yeah,
insane.
they're bad. Like we could pack up right now and go kill 10 of them at my feeder.
Wow.
That's how. And they hit the same spot every night.
Yeah.
I got a camera and I'll just watch them.
Yeah.
Watch them tear up my land.
Yeah, they do. Bad, too.
They are a major factor for erosion. And
Do they get
yeah.
in the crawfish ponds?
They really don't. No, they don't mess with the crawfish ponds.
That's
They'll stay on
good.
the levee and they'll rut up the levees though.
Yeah.
And then they mess with the vegetation, and then the
Mhm.
vegetation falls into the ponds, and
Yeah.
just bad as an armadillo. But
Yeah. Or probably worse.
yeah, they're worse.
Yeah.
They're bad for it.
That's insane.
We have some land in a off the coast. We actually have some beach frontage. It's a place called Shinyatig. Chenier, Chenier O Teague is just like the land of the tiger. That's what it's
okay.
named after, from the early 1800s.
Yeah.
And the hog population, you can only get there by boat, and the hog population is so incredible that you can almost walk up to them and they'll just kind of walk around you. They
Really?
don't even care. And it's not because they're used to people. There's so many
Yeah.
of them, they don't care.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's like the Bahamas. And
Yeah.
there's an island in the Bahamas that have a bunch of pigs.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that island called there in the Bahamas that has all the pigs and you can go hang out with them?
Just go swimming with the pigs and stuff.
I don't know. I see it on Instagram though. You see people taking pictures with
that's
them.
crazy. Yeah, that's wild. I didn't really think about the hog population being so bad down here.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Mm.
So that's why I've always been a hog hunter and a waterfowl hunter, because there's no
Yeah.
deer.
Yeah.
You got to go to Texas to kill the good deer.
Mm-hmm.
I've killed some nice deer in Seven Canyons Ranch a long time ago when I was a kid. I went
Oh,
there.
really?
Kill some cool deer. I've killed deer here, but it's just 100-pound does, 120-pound
Yeah.
does.
I don't know much about the deer around here, but they probably their horns probably don't get very big either.
No, they get killed too early.
Yeah.
Somebody sees a 6-point, they shoot it before it gets to be a nice deer.
Yeah. See, like, there's still a little bit of etiquette in like East Texas where I'm from. Like, there's high fence ranches everywhere, but like not really at very many where we live.
Yeah.
And the people, all these neighbors see the same deer.
Yeah.
Right. And they pretty much are on an agreement of like, hey, we're gonna let it
grow.
let it grow. But I'll be damned if somebody shoots
the damn deer.
That's some beef, son. Like,
Yeah.
they get so mad. It's so funny because I don't really care that much about deer hunting no more, but I hear all my buddies are big deer hunters.
Yeah.
So I love hearing their stories. Like, I had him on camera for 7. I was like, dude, it's not your deer, buddy.
Yeah, you should have shot it earlier.
Yeah, you should have. You took his word for it. That's pretty funny. But let's dive in. So I feel like it wouldn't be fair to your audience because it's so broad. The people that are going to come listen to this, like, talk a little bit about what kind of got you started on social media, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, so it's a hilarious story. I was 2014. I was in my new house. I just bought. Obviously, I wasn't even close to being married yet, but my girlfriend, we had all lived together. No, she was my fiance. I'm sorry. Yeah, we were engaged already. Delaney, my first wife. We were sitting down, and she had Instagram, and I was like, "That's stupid." Whatever. It's just pictures. Who does that? Facebook's where it's at. I really missed MySpace that much. I was like, I want to be back on MySpace, but whatever. So we were on Facebook, and she was scrolling through his pictures on Instagram, and I was like, let me look. So I looked at her phone, and then I think I typed in truck on like the little search bar, and I was like, wow, there's guys on here. I thought it was just for girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll download an Instagram. So me and my buddy were sitting side by side, and we both downloaded Instagram, and I just like trucks. Like, I've always done my truck thing. Just worked on it myself, lifted them myself. I was doing this long before Instagram.
Yeah.
And I started driving in 2006 or 7. So I always liked working on my trucks, just like people did long before any social medias.
Mhm.
And I remember I posted a picture of my truck, and I think truck pages were just kind of getting around.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I got like 10 likes or something on it. And I was like, man, that's cool. 10
Yeah.
people like that picture. And the next day, I remember this truck page.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know anything about it, but this truck page followed me and they had like 2,000 followers. I thought it was so cool because I had
Yeah.
like, 5.
Yeah.
And they posted it. Then I got a bunch of followers from it. And I was like, man, it's kind of addictive. I see why people like it. So it just really snowballed from there. And, in 2 years, I got 40,000 followers or so, just from posting pictures of my trucks and cool things that I was already doing anyway. So I was
Yeah.
just sharing with people.
What was your first truck build on Instagram?
Yeah, it was a white 2006 LBZ Duramax. And it was so cool because I was
funny,
doing
dude.
air conditioning work
Yeah.
early on, residential air conditioning work. I wasn't making hardly any money, but I would spend it all on this truck. And I remember I put a body lift on it and a 6-inch suspension lift, and I stuffed 40s on it.
Yeah. Dude, I could see that.
You could see
I
it, yeah.
remember.
And so it was 40s on a 6-inch lift
Yeah.
before the body lift. And I had my keys cranked up all the way, and it was like barely fitting.
Yeah.
And people ate it up. They couldn't believe I had 40s on a 6-inch lift.
Yeah.
And, just gradually did more and more things to it. But that is the truck that did everything. That truck's a mega truck now.
Yeah.
It's my tractor tire truck.
Yeah.
And I said I'd never sell it. And I always said that if I decided I was going to sell it one day, I was going to turn it into a monster truck first.
Yeah. Well, put a clip of that here, like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be up.
Yeah. Would you see the whole video the week after this podcast?
It's cool. You can go back as far as possible on Instagram, and you could see the progression of the truck. It would gradually get bigger and bigger.
I remember the first time you put like a huge lift on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I solid axled it. That's what I did.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
And that was the like, people weren't solid axling trucks back then. That was like something you did if you had a little bit of ingenuity. So there was this little group. There was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 of us that solid axled all of our trucks.
Yeah.
And it just blew up. Everybody wanted to do it, but it was hard. How do you do it? Where'd you get the information?
Yeah.
And that's really what set me off on Instagram. Made a bunch of good friends on there.
Yeah. The truck community was tight.
It was, yeah.
So for the listeners that listen to us all the time, like there was a time where the truck scene, how was my life. Like duck hunting is now. Like I love the truck scene just as much as I do duck hunting. We would go to SEMA.
Yeah.
I would go with our dad and my dad, like we'd go to SEMA and all these truck shows, and then I started like building a truck, you know what I mean? Putting lights and like stupid shit on it.
So cool, yeah.
And we would go. So that's how I started following him. And it's been a long time, but it's pretty funny to think about that stuff. Cause I'm not like real, like I still like doing stuff to my truck. I just don't care about like.
Yeah, it's not everything anymore.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we're going to build this truck that I just bought for our tour next year. So it's kind of like taking me back to those days. Yeah.
It's a blast. And there's so much more resources out there now.
Oh, dude, there's so much stuff.
10 years later.
Yeah.
I remember the whole light bar thing that was going around for a while. Everybody had a light bar company.
Oh, yeah. Everybody had a light bar. I remember I got tied in with this light bar company, and I got like a wholesaler price.
Yeah.
And I bought like, I don't know, 6 or 7 curved 52 inch. And I bought like a dozen sets of cubes. Like that was so funny. It's kind of cringy to think about it now.
Yeah, I look back at some of my pictures. I was so young, man. I was 20 years old, 21 years old, just living it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, the money I spent wasted on some of those trucks, but it's not money wasted because it was fun.
No, it was fun. It was fun.
What's up, guys? We partnered up with Migra this year, shooting a 2-4 stack steel shot. I use a 20 gauge quite a bit, so I'll be shooting this 20 gauge 2-4 stack, 1350 feet per second. If I miss, it's because of me, not the shell. This stuff is incredible. Jackson shoots his 12 a lot, so I'll throw a 12 in there every once in a while, especially if we're on some big geese or whatnot. But stuff was definitely a go-to this year. Kind of made sense for us. We've been friends with these guys for quite some time now, and so we just made it happen. Highly suggest shooting this Migra. Definitely some great stuff. Can't wait to get in the field and use it again. It's been a couple years since we've gotten to use it, but we're here to stay. Check out Migra Ammunitions on Instagram, and check out their website.
So what came after your truck scene stuff? Like when you were working for a residential?
I was working for a residential air conditioning company, and I'd already built this following, right?
This was before the oil field or after the oil field?
This was before the oil field.
Okay.
And I transitioned into the oil field. So like this is 2014, 2013, 14. You know what? I might have not been residential air conditioned whenever I had Instagram, because I think that was about 2013.
Mhm.
So 2014 was the oil field. So I started building this following, and I had people from all over, and there wasn't a terrible amount from Louisiana besides the ones that knew me. So
Yeah.
it was so interesting for them to watch what I would do, and I would post it all on Instagram. These oil rigs I was on, the platforms, jumping from place to place, and I would post stories about everything, doing air conditioning work, and I kind of explained how the life is out there.
Yeah.
And I gained a pretty large following just from posting oil field stuff. And I was
Yeah.
always HVAC tech, just offshore. That was real cool. I stayed in the oil field from 2013 to 2016
Mhm.
when I started my business. And
What made you start your business?
necessity. I was working for a company in where was that? I was in Aransas Pass, Texas.
Mhm.
It was so cool. I was over there, and I remember I was over there for 12 weeks without coming home. And I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But all field hands, everybody's gonna understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta work long shifts because you don't know if you're gonna be laid off or not.
Yep.
Just like pipelining, it's the
I
same
know all
thing.
about it, but
You work as long as you can because
Yeah.
you might be laid off.
yeah.
And I remember I was over there in Aransas Pass for spring break, and Panama City got shut down during the month of spring break. So everybody went to Aransas Pass,
yeah.
Texas, Port A.
Port A, yeah.
And it was you could drive on the beach. I thought it was so cool. And I was still young, so I was
Yeah.
enjoying it. And it was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
So I finished that job up, and I didn't get laid off. I was still employed, but they just weren't calling me, and I was home for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And I had no money because I spent it all on
Mhm.
trucks. It's so funny. And I was like, well, I got to do
Had
something.
to get those 37s,
Oh
dude.
yeah, and then I had my big truck, and then I was like, well, I need a daily driver, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't drive my big truck, so I'm driving this little Ford Ranger. Then I got to put lifting tires on the Ford Ranger, and it's not making good mileage no more. So anyway, I go through the vehicles, but I'm home for like 3 months, and one day I posted on Facebook because I was desperate. I needed some money.
Yeah.
I think I posted, hey, the post is still there. It's way back 2016. I was like, anybody needs their air conditioning unit cleaned out, I'd like to make a little cash while I'm waiting to go back to offshore.
Yeah.
And then I think I got 1 or 2 calls, and I was Googling price sheets. I was calling air conditioning companies, and I'm like, hey, how much for a
many
capacitor?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what's your address? I'm like, oh, it's from, whatever. I make something up to get their pricing. And I started building these price sheets, and I was so cheap in the beginning.
Mhm.
And I will say a lot of people came up with he got lucky because he had a following, but I built the following.
Yeah.
The following came from somewhere, and those people in New York weren't using me for air conditioning work,
Right. Right.
So, or Florida, whatever. So I pulled a lot of these people from Instagram locally, and I brought them to Facebook where I built this company, and Facebook would be the #1 factor of how I started this company. And so that first call went good, and then I do another one, and I do another one. And then I think I did this for about March, April, May, June, July.
Still without a call from work.
Still without a call from work. I'm home
Wow.
for 4
Good thing you started that.
I was home for 7 months before work called me.
Wow.
They were like, hey, you ready to come back? And I already made up my mind. I just hadn't told nobody yet. And I was
Yeah.
like, no. And I was like, no, man, I think I'm going to try and do this. So scary,
Yeah.
So then I really created my LLC, and I did all the steps. And that was almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
9 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the exponential growth is because I always remembered how it started out and how hard it was.
Yeah.
And I never took my foot off the gas from the very beginning. I've always just applied the same pressure that I did from that first Facebook post.
Mhm.
And 22 trucks, probably 30 guys now.
Yeah.
35 maybe with all my ladies.
Your rap guy loves you.
Yeah, he loves me. We have a great relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen, every one of his service trucks for his AC company is wrapped in old school camo.
Yeah, old school.
It's very cool.
It is. I love it. Yeah. Shout out Leapery Specialties.
There you go.
I got hooked up with him, and a great guy, Tommy Leapery. And me and him collabed with the idea. I was like, man, I think I want to do a matte gray. And he was like, Seth, old school was coming back. I was like, it's hard. I don't want to do something that's going to fade away. And you look at it, old school was the original camo.
Yep.
And faded away, and it came back whenever Drake came out with their old school. Then it faded away, and it's back again in everything.
Oh, everybody
has
they
it.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might fade away again, and I'm still gonna have it because
Yeah.
I got the camo fleet.
Yeah.
So it really stands out. I got a lot of hate for it.
Yeah.
People think it's ugly. But it's a great.
But if you see one of them trucks going down the road, you know who it is.
Yeah, you know exactly who it is.
I think that's a great marketing idea.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's kind of like the guys who do the pink trucks. Like, there's a reason behind the pink truck. It makes them talk and it catches their eye.
Yep.
There's a plumbing company somewhere. All their trucks are pink for no reason.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
It catches the eye.
Yeah.
So it's always been a. So another thing I guess I can say back to my whole truck scene. I pulled my whole truck knowledge and truck building stuff into my fleet. So all my fleet, they have mud grips, they got the same wheels, they're level, they got tint. And I did that because I wanted to stand out from all the basic service trucks you see on the road. Every service truck you see is nose diving with some factory tires. And hey, they're saving money though.
Yeah.
They're not spending money on tires.
Yeah.
But I want it to be different. And I wanted a new crowd. I knew that if I was going to try and build a big company, that I couldn't do it by doing the same thing that every other company did.
Yeah.
Because there's 50 companies that do the same thing that the other one does. I wanted to be the one that was different.
Yeah.
So I spent
definitely
money on these
different.
trucks. Yeah.
And one thing I think you started doing, I feel maybe the past year and a half is applying what you know about social media to your business.
That's it.
Like linking up with AB Films and doing those videos. Like, I think a lot more people should do that kind of stuff.
I really do.
I think it drives a lot more business than posting still pictures or, running normal basic ads. Like, if you're watching a video, unless they have it on mute and they don't hear what you're saying, it doesn't look like you're promoting an AC business.
No.
But if you listen to it and people share the shit out of your stuff, it's because you're kind of giving knowledge to people.
I am.
Even like your competitors around here.
I'm giving them free game. And I said that in my last video. If they would just stop and listen, I'm giving them the playbook and I'm paying to give it to them.
Yeah.
Because these videos cost me money. And some of them listen. And I looked at my phone earlier and I had a message. A guy was like, "Hey, I've been following you 13 years. I save every one of your videos." I'm like, "Dude, thank you so much. I don't really realize the impact I make on somebody in Florida.
Right.
I'm just trying to put out content that I think people are going to like. And at the same time, I call it the new generation of business owners.
Yeah.
Because so many business owners are scared to upset the customer. I'm like, no, that's not me, man. You're going to get pissed off if you don't like to hear what I got to say.
Yeah.
Especially if you're wrong, you're going to know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be the first one to fix a problem if I mess up. And we mess up all the time. I have 30-something guys that have a chance to mess up every day.
Every day.
It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you react to it.
Yeah.
So, and I promote that. And people know they can come to me if something happens and they felt like they were treated unfairly or whatever that is. I'm a huge advocate about accountability.
Right.
And I promote that in my videos. And these newer business owners that are starting out, they're like, "Man, I really like that idea. I'm going to start doing that." My dad said that the customer's always right. And I'm like, the customer is usually always wrong. You're just letting them be right for the sake of having a customer.
Right.
And
that's 100%.
Yeah. You're afraid to lose a customer.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to look like an idiot by letting somebody be right whenever they're clearly not right.
Yeah. There's a way to go about it.
There is.
I was the same way. I wasn't the type to, like, when I had my tire shop and we were doing lift kits and all this stuff, like, and I had employees and I'd never been a business owner and never worked retail. I went from a pipeliner, hardcore pipeliner, to talking to a bunch of strangers about their vehicle and and getting their business. And I was the same way. Like, I would tell them how it is and, like, as nicely as I can. And if I upset you, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You got to white glove it at first.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna happen to your vehicle. It's perfect. Like, I'm sorry the fact that you don't like it. You know what I mean? Or it didn't turn out the way you wanted to, or maybe you spent a little bit more money, but you're not gonna have that problem if you go down the road. You're definitely gonna have that problem. You know what I mean?
You go to BF Goodwrench. They're not gonna tell you.
They're not gonna tell you that you need brakes. You know what I mean? And if they do, you probably don't need them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They piece price it together.
That's it. So, 10 years? You start 10 years ago?
It'll be it was actually 9 this month.
9
so
this month.
yeah, we just
Okay.
hit 9 years. March 2016, I started my company, and
Obviously, you started. What was the first phase of your business? Were you just doing a lot of repairs? Were you?
yeah, first phase of the business was I was promoting repairs, and I was so scared to do change outs. Like if somebody had a unit that went down and it really needed to be replaced, I tried to repair that unit as many times as possible because one, I was scared to tell somebody that, hey, this is going to be $5,000. I thought it was so scary. And then also I didn't have the help because I
Yeah.
was like, I can't hire nobody. I got to do it myself. So the first year, my friends helped me change units.
Yeah.
I call up a buddy. I have a real good friend, Rustin. He's a cop. He still's a cop. Very good cop. And he had a good flexible schedule. So on his days off, he would come help me. And me and Rustin have killed some ducks together.
Yeah.
That's why, look, we have such a great friendship because he would be off. He'd be like, hey, you want to go hunting? And I was self-employed now, so he'd be off.
Yeah.
We'd go kill birds and we'd go change a unit. He'd go do his cop thing at night. So I had friends help me change out units in the beginning. And, I'd give them a couple $100 for the day. And, hey, I got another unit to change out in like a week.
Yeah.
And now we do 3 a day. But
Yeah.
like back then it was maybe like once every couple weeks. I didn't
Yeah.
have a lot of volume. So I just tried to repair everything.
Yeah.
Second phase would say I hired my first employee, and we would run calls together. That's Caleb Delhomer. That's actually his room up on the left.
He still works for you?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
He actually left me, and he's going to take over his dad's company. His dad
Okay.
does duct cleaning.
Mm.
But he
Okay.
came work for me to get some air conditioning knowledge.
Yeah.
Now he's taking over his dad's company. One of my best friends, he has a room at the camp, and we do everything together too. So that was second phase. Caleb worked for me for a long time, 4 or 5 years. Third phase was truck number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned Kenley a lot. Kenley's one of my real good friends. He's my operations manager now.
Yeah.
I hired Kenley because he hit me up one day. He was like, "Hey, you need some experience?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I can afford you."
Yeah.
So hired Kenley, and we went. Kenley was truck number 4.
Yeah.
We went from 4 trucks to 22 trucks in 4 years because I was able to pull myself out. That's whenever I switched from owner-operator to, I'm going to call it CEO, and I looked at the big picture. I realized that you cannot work in a business and work on the business at the same time.
Yeah.
So when I pulled myself out of the field, that's whenever it really started.
And when was that?
2000, what year was that, Darren? I was still working whenever me and you met. Me and Darren met in early 2019, 2020. 2020 is when I hired Kenley, and yeah, so we're in 25 now.
What was COVID like for your business?
Man, we tripled our revenue in COVID.
Wow.
And a lot of people can't say that because they were. I think what helped us was everybody was
The
home.
ACs were running all the time.
That's it. Everybody was
Yeah.
home, and I have never once gone backwards in a year. I've either always doubled it, or now that we're getting bigger, I haven't doubled the last 2 years. But like year 1 till now, it's double, then double that, and double that, and double that.
Yeah.
And then now it's more about small growth because you can't double over a year. You can, but it would be scary. 22 trucks to 45 trucks. That'd be hard. But we've
That
doubled.
would be very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went in 5 years now. We went from 4 trucks to 22 trucks.
Yeah.
Which was pretty quick.
Very quick.
Yeah, scary quick.
Yeah.
And it's so quick that you don't realize the steps and procedures you have to put in place to manage a beast like this.
Yeah.
And look, I'm small beans compared to some of these big air conditioning companies. I like to look at it like that because I don't want to think I'm ever so big that I have it all figured out, because I don't. I'm so far from having it figured out.
But you're doing a lot better than a lot of people.
A lot of people,
especially at a young age.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like getting out of their comfort zone of 1, 2, 3, 4 trucks.
Yeah.
Because you can manage that. You fail, you put a truck to the side. At 15 plus trucks, you can't go backwards. You have to continually buy more trucks.
Yeah.
Because your guys have to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
They have to better their lives. You have to buy new equipment, and there's always new stuff that comes out, and the only way you can pay for it is putting another truck on the road.
Yeah. See, that's one thing as a business owner I like hearing people say, like, you're trying to better your employees.
That's it. Yeah.
That's where it starts. And it all starts at the top, dude.
It does.
And I kind of can speak from experience too, because I had this mechanic that was young, but I'm not gonna say he knew everything, but he was intelligent and
Yeah.
he knew a lot.
He was good.
And he would try to leave, and I'd help him out, give him more money, give him do whatever I needed to do to keep him around
Yeah.
and better him. And he wasn't leaving for more money; he was leaving to pursue something else that he thought he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it got to a point to where I couldn't do that no more, and I couldn't hold him from his dreams.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I did everything I could, and he went from nothing to a lot just working for me in 2 years. You know what I mean? And that's what I like to hear about business owners say is like, you know, taking care of your employees. You know what I mean?
That's where it all
And you
starts.
can definitely tell you do.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. I love
Like you put a gym in your shop
do.
for your guys.
I just built a gym for them. Look,
Yeah.
I promote healthy living. I try and stop them from eating fast food. Like we all have a bad habit of fast food. You know,
Right.
we're always on the road, but and I'm like, if y'all would just stop for a little while and eat a little healthy, y'all realize how much better you feel during the day.
Yeah.
So I built a gym for them, nice little 30 by 40, to where if they don't want to buy a gym membership, they can work out in the morning, work out after work.
Yeah.
Really, whatever they need to stay healthy and fit. And a healthy and fit technician is more presentable. They're gonna be happier talking to the customer. They're not gonna sound like this and yeah, you need a new unit.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna be enthusiastic and they're gonna tell the customer what's wrong and why it's wrong and what can we do to fix it. We're gonna give you multiple options and here's financing.
Yeah.
And they sound great. They sound like somebody you want to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
I help my guys. I got a bunch of young guys, right?
Uh-huh.
I help them build their credit. I teach them because look, I messed up so much in my early years,
Yeah.
spending money on trucks, putting myself in credit card debt, and that's how I started Chapman's was with a credit card.
Yeah.
And so I try and give them a leg up on what I had because I'm like, if I can give you a leg up that I didn't have, imagine what you can do in 10 years, whether you're with me or not with me.
Yeah. 100%.
You can do so much.
So, do you do a lot of generators around here?
We do, yeah.
Yeah.
I put in. It's so funny. One of those things I talk about, kind of getting out of your comfort zone. I was scared to do generators because I didn't know a lot about them, and I hired a generator guy, and we sold 88 generators in like 4 months last year.
What?
It was unbelievable. I made a Facebook post, one Facebook post, and it got like 1,600 shares. And it was just me saying, hey guys, so we can put in this generator. I have financing. It'll probably cost you about $200 a month. Here's the breakdown for it. And I was calling 50 people a day, 5 days a week, give or take a couple here and there. And we were installing 2 generators a day. So we were installing 10 generators a week. And we were financing all of them, and I probably supplied 500,000 parachute generators.
Wow.
All Generac, we put the
Yeah.
transfer switch, we got the plumbing. You have to have a master plumber do the plumbing side, so I have a plumber do all that.
Yeah.
We're certified electrical, so we
Yeah.
do the electrical part, and we sub the plumbing out, and that's it.
That's wild.
We just started again. Hurricane season is a big scare around here. People hate
Of course.
losing power. So
Dude, I need a generator, and I live in East Texas.
that's it, yeah. Yeah, we do.
When
we
I
do a
build my
lot.
house, I will have one. I
Yeah.
promise. We've talked about
It's
it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
They turn
We
automatically.
just lost power last week.
Especially the
For 2
elderly,
days.
It's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice with the elderly. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 days. Yeah, 2 whole days.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not bad for me, but like I got little kids.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I mean?
gets hot. They get
Yeah.
cranky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's crazy, dude.
so it was just off a whim, and I promote. If you're scared to do something, it's probably going to work out. And I was scared to do it because I was like, man, what if I know how to fix it?
Yeah.
I'll just hire somebody that knows how to fix it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is hiring people that there are so many of my guys that are better at air conditioning than me,
Yeah.
and I hire them and they're good.
Right.
I don't know generators that well, so I hire the ones that do.
Yeah.
And you got to treat them right though. You
Yeah.
can't not treat them right because then you're gonna leave, and then you're like, oh, I don't know how to fix a generator.
Yeah.
I do, but
Yeah.
that is the case often.
Yeah. That's wild. So you went and what'd you say, 4 years from
4 trucks to 22 trucks.
that's crazy.
What's up, guys? VPC Lanyards, best lanyards in the industry. We've been with them since, I've been with them since 2017. We've been partnered with them since day one of the podcast. We've always used their products. They make a very good, one of the best, if not the best, lanyards. They also make duck totes, gun straps, you name it. Anything that can be made with a paracord, he makes it. He made me a kill switch for my boat. and that we use it all the time. This is the AA Game Changer. This has removable drop loops. So if you don't want to bring a call that day, you don't necessarily have to. If you want to add another call, you just add it. Super easy. By far, my favorite lanyard right here is this AA Game Changer. The one I had before was just as good, if you know, but this one is definitely, like this says, a game changer. So check them out at VPC Lanyards on Instagram or Facebook. Tell them the Quack Shack sent you. Get you a new lanyard.
So, where do you see yourself? Where do you see Chapman's in 5 years?
I would like 40 trucks on the road. I mentioned that in a video that me and AB Films did not long ago. I would like 40 trucks on the road, maybe 45 trucks. I want to be heavier on the commercial side. We do a lot of commercial work, but I want to be heavier in it. I just purchased a sheet metal company.
Yep.
So we're doing all of our own sheet metal in-house now, which before we subbed it out. So that was extra money and a longer process. It takes, you go to a house, you got to change a unit. You need a transition or a new plenum or whatever. You got to call it in, wait for it to get picked up.
Yeah.
So now, we call it in, boom, we make the sheet metal and we go put it in.
Yeah.
So 40 trucks, probably 60 to 70 people. I don't want to be the biggest air conditioning company. That's never the goal. But my goal is to take care of so many people efficiently that we just end up being the biggest.
Yeah.
And there's a company that's been around locally for like 75 years, Butcher Air Conditioning. I look up to them so much because they've done it right. And like now, as I get older in my business, I realize how hard it is to continue to do it right for so long. And Butcher kills it. They are distributing. They do it all. Great company. Huge company. I think they probably have 40 plus trucks on the road.
Really?
Yeah. But that's my goal, is to be that big.
Yeah.
And to show you that there's so many air conditioning companies around here, it's not hard to be that big because there's 100 times the people that there are air conditioning companies.
Yeah.
You just have to want to be big. It's a headache. It really is.
I imagine.
Yeah.
I imagine so. What's your plan with the sheet metal company? Is it something you're gonna have to build up, or?
So I'm buying an already established sheet metal company. All the tools are there, the personnel's there, and we're going to build all of our own sheet metal, of course, and we're going to build sheet metal for any other company that decides to come to come give us work.
Yeah.
Right now, he's building sheet metal for quite a few companies. He's ready to retire, so we're taking it over, and we're
getting that client list and everything.
Yeah, we're going to get the client list. As long as they want to shop with us, we'll do business with them.
Right.
That's the plan.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to benefit your business a lot.
It will.
Too.
It's going to help. Yeah. It's just the turnaround time is big because sometimes we'll sell 2 or 3 units in a day, and we have to have sheet metal built for each one. And then we know that he can't pump the sheet metal out fast enough because he's working for other people too.
Yeah.
So we have to strategically plan out our installs, and then the next day he's going to end up selling some more units. Any of my selling techs.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an
you got
animal
a lot going on.
Oh my God, man!
And then you add on the stores that
stores
you recently bought in the past year.
Yeah. September 2023, I bought my first store. And it's funny how that happened. I used to shop at this store all the time. And I guess we can get into that side of it now that we covered the air condition. So air condition has allowed me, like I said, to step back and pursue other things. And I used to shop at this store all the time. It was called C&J's Outfitters. And I'd pass it. It's in my neck of the woods. I'd pass it all the time. And one day I noticed there was like less stuff in there, then less stuff. And then I saw on Facebook that she was selling. I was like, oh, man, I love that store. She shut the doors and everything. The price was real high at first. Wasn't interested. The price gradually came down. And I told my wife, Darian, one day I was like, you want to buy a store? It's like a grocery store. I don't know. I guess whatever you want to do, we'll just figure it out. And just like everything else, she tells me figure it out. So we figured out, went to the bank, bought the store, and I didn't even realize how much I was involved in the hunting scene yet. Like, I had friends in the hunting industry, a couple other people, but I wasn't anything in the hunting industry like I am the air conditioner or the truck stuff. So
you just loved to hunt.
I just loved to hunt. It was just my passion. So I bought this store, and then I realized, this store is probably going to be beneficial. The money that I spend on hunting every year, I could use this store as a break even.
Right.
It can pay for my hunting stuff. That's all I wanted to do. And bought the store, started putting stuff in it, started reaching out to these vendors. I reached out to you. You got me on with Turtle Box.
Yeah.
You got me in with the contact.
I love Turtle
I
Box.
knew I wanted name brand things because people don't want to buy a bunch of
Junk.
Chinese junk that's
Yep.
gonna use one time, they're never gonna use it again. So I wanted name brand stuff. I got Heyday, Lacrosse, Gator Wader, Turtle Box. I got all the big fishing companies in there. I have Migra shells. I'm the only Boss distributor around. I'm the only person that carries a huge selection of Migra.
Yeah.
Like I have multiple shot sizes of everything.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest lacrosse dealer besides Lafayette Shooters in this whole area, and out of a 900 square foot store.
That's crazy.
Like I think I sold 150,000 of lacrosse in 2024. Out of a 900 square foot store.
900
It's
square feet.
unbelievable.
That's nuts, dude.
So the store was just a fishing store before.
Right.
Fishing and like small convenience, not even gas outside.
They had like some drinks and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
like,
They had some drinks, some
Yeah.
snacks, some chips, no crazy hot food. And like
I remember seeing your Snapchats like
Yeah.
when you first bought it, and you were like, "There's like nothing in there."
it would gradually
Yeah.
get crazier. So I get on with all these cool companies, and now I stock all kind of shells. I got Hunt's Brothers Pizza. Crack sells itself. That's why you don't see commercials for it.
Yeah.
Perry's does the commercials.
Yeah.
And
We
man,
love- I love Hunt's
I
Brothers.
love Hunt's Brothers. Yeah, they're wonderful. And
Dude, they respond to me on Instagram all the time.
Really?
Anytime I tag them, they respond to me.
I haven't tried that
They
yet. I need
they won't
to.
work with us, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to sponsor the podcast,
Yeah.
dude. We love Hunt's Brothers.
Oh man, Hunt's Brothers is a huge company too. I never realized
massive.
how big they were.
They're
Yeah.
in NASCAR, everything.
Yeah, they're huge. And I got all the cool energy drinks, Ghost Energy. Shout out Ghost.
We love Ghost.
Yeah, we love Ghost. That is my go-to right now.
Shout out Mason, Wade.
Yeah,
Ghost.
Wade always reposts my Instagram
Oh, yeah.
stories. I'm like the Red Bull plug in the area. If Red Bull comes out with a new flavor, Perry's gonna have it first.
Yeah.
So we have all that cool stuff. People can come in, they can get hot food. I am the breakfast stop in the morning for the whole hunting community. We do a pepper jelly boudin biscuit.
Oh yeah.
We do pepper jelly sausage, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
It's a local pepper jelly company called Noni's.
Yeah.
And I like shopping local. I have a bunch of local vendors that we get all of our cool stuff from.
I'm telling you right now, I'm a gas station junkie. My wife gets on to me all the time for it. We're on the road all the time, right?
Yeah.
For work, for the podcast, going out of town. We have family that live all over Texas, so like I'm always driving.
Yeah.
So I put so many miles on my truck,
That's it.
and I'll stop in to get something to eat, or like I'm real big on get from where A to B.
Yeah.
Bam, bam. So like if I stop at a gas station to get fuel and it's 11 o'clock, I'm probably just gonna grab something to eat in there. I have time, but I don't have time to stop somewhere and get something to eat. So like I'll get my snuff, my Ghost or whatever they have at the time, and I can tell you right now, if there's a Perry's where I lived, I would be the number
you'd
one.
wear it out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They'd have a
all the
tab in
time,
there.
dude. No, for real. Like,
Yeah.
I spend a lot of money. I spend too much, an embarrassingly amount of money at a gas station.
That's what I like so much about my store. And this is just one of the stores. I got two, but I'm in with all my friends on Snapchat, and they're like, "Hey, can you get this in the store?" I'm like, "Let me look." Yeah, I can get it. I'll buy 5 a week if you can get it.
Yeah,
So I get the stuff that people want. Like
Yeah.
if you go in the store, chances are somebody requested it and they want it in there.
yeah,
And I got different types of boudin, hot links, and tasso, and barbecue burgers, and I just got so much stuff, and it's all stuff people wanted.
right.
So I'm the breakfast stop for the honey buns, the Red Bull, the Ghost, the Monster,
Yeah,
the waters. I get a little bit of everything, and they can get all their food for the whole day. Shotgun shells, mojos, knee boots, hip boots,
you
waders.
can literally buy anything in that
Anything
store.
you need to hunt is in the store.
Yeah,
Face paint, like I have rifle ammunition, handgun ammunition, slugs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your store is one of those places like every small town, like there's a couple towns in Arkansas that need a store like yours,
Yeah.
like Oklahoma, Texas, like every big hunting town needs a Perry's.
Yeah, that's
Because like if you're going, you're gonna go to the store in the morning to get fuel or to get your Red Bull and a honey bun and like snacks for the blind. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, dude, I don't have enough ammo. Oh, look,
There you go.
there's some right here.
Yeah.
We don't. I need a new mojo. Like, it's literally anything you can buy in there.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
I got whatever I can, and then like we don't really have an off season. I would say March might be our off season because hunting's closed, fishing hasn't quite picked up yet,
Right.
but it's about to. So fishing season kicks off. I got life jackets and boat plugs, and I'm a gator tail distributor now. So
Yeah.
I have your gator tail breaks into March. You can come over here and buy a belt. You can buy a low pressure fuel pump,
Yeah.
spark plugs, oil change kits. Like it is. People walk in the store and they're like, "How do you have this much stuff in here?"
Yeah. So what's a phone call to like Turtle Box or Gator Tail or something like to get their stuff in your store, like
So it's funny how
because
that works.
like
Like, how do you
obviously they
find
don't
these
see
people,
it,
you know?
right?
Yeah.
They don't see it like the store. It's 900 square feet, and you literally you have stuff stacked in.
Yeah.
We're going
Stacked.
in the morning.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see it all the time on Snapchat.
It's all over my
man.
Snap.
But like, what is that phone call like to Kyle Broussard and like, hey,
That's exactly
hey,
how
bro,
it went.
I just need like some belts and stuff to sell.
Yeah.
Like,
So I called Gator Tail one day, and I was like, "Hey, is Kyle in?" And they were like, "No, he's not." So one of his, I forgot who it was, Damon. It was Damon over there. Damon was like, Gator Tail's camps in Pecan Island. It's right down the road.
right down the
I'm
road.
so thankful that Gator Tail's around here. So Damon stopped by one day. He was like, "Why don't you carry nothing in the store?" I was like, "Man, I called for Kyle a while back, but I said he's a busy man."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Dude, here's his number." So I called Kyle on his cell phone. I was like, "Hey, can y'all set me up as a vendor?" He was like, "Yeah, dude." He was like, "We'll get you set up, whatever you want. You could stock anything you want in the store."
Yeah.
So I stocked their hats, their shirts, license plates. You need a trim switch for a 35 horsepower carburetor motor. We got it.
That's so funny. We also have your Ghost and Honey Bun.
Yeah. So people, there's nobody that sells Gator Tail parts around here except Gator Tail. Maybe a couple of boat dealers, but they're never open at the times we're open. We're open at 4 a.m. until 7, all hunting season, and then 5 to 7 non-hunting season.
Yeah.
So
the hours are crazy.
Yeah,
They're always open.
Look, shout out to my girls. I don't know if I could wake up and be at the store for 3 a.m. every morning during hunting season, and they do.
Yeah.
And it's multiple of them that do it. It's hard, and they work in shifts, and they prepare the food, and I'm a big advocate for good morning and walk in with a smile on your face, and they never
do
stop.
it.
They all do it.
That's awesome.
So I got on with Gator Tail. I got all their parts in there, belts. I keep a lot of 40 EFI stuff because that's the most common.
Right.
But yeah, you just get a set up. Like when you set me up with Turtle Box, I just got my rep's phone number, and I'm like, I probably sell 20 to 30 Turtle Boxes a month.
That's a lot.
Yeah, out of a little small
That's
store.
It's
a lot of Turtle Boxes. I've supplied 500,000 pairs with Turtle Boxes.
I believe it.
Some of them, 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah. So Turtle Box is in there, and
they sell themselves.
They do. They
sell
really
themselves.
do. We have one that plays on top of the display all the time.
Yeah.
And as far as Heyday, it's another relationship I built in.
I met him recently.
Really?
That's one person. What's his name? JJ.
JJ.
I never met him. I seen him all the time, and we were hanging out in Nashville with a bunch of mutual friends, and he was standing right by me, and he kept looking at me. I kept looking at him. I was like, man, I know him. Where do I know him? And I was like, hey, dude, like, I know you from somewhere. I don't remember where. And he told me. I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Big old boy. Football player.
Yeah.
I met JJ through the run and gun tour with, was it Rig 'em Right? What was the run and gun tour?
It was Rig 'em Right.
Was it Rig 'em and Sitka and...
I don't remember who all was there.
It's been a little while.
Rig 'em Right.
They were in a van.
Heyday. Yeah, it was a wrapped van.
It was a wrapped van, and they were going all over the place. Well, they came. JJ was in college, and
oh wow,
that's how he got that. I think he might have emailed him. He was like, "Hey, I'm interested in doing this. I like to hunt." Blah blah blah. And they were like, "You're picked."
Yeah.
So it was like luck of the draw. I think he had to submit an essay or something. So we met him at the Field and Stream parking lot. They were just here. They were like, "Hey, Lafayette, Louisiana tonight." So I went. Me and a buddy went out and met JJ.
Yeah.
Cool dude. He showed us the van. We swapped phone numbers, and we communicated ever since. And then he became directly on with Heyday, and that's how I got Heyday in there was JJ.
Wow.
And Lacrosse is another. I can tell you a big influencer for me starting Perry Outfitters was a local company in Lafayette called Lafayette Shooters.
Mm-hmm.
They kill the game. I have a very good work relationship with them.
Yeah.
They've gave me knowledge on how to start Perry. I mean, like, I can't hold a candle to them.
Yeah.
And most people be like, nah, he's in the same industry as us. We're not going to help him.
Yeah.
Lafayette Shooters, they would let me buy my ammo over there before I had a distributor. I would buy my ammo at full price and mark it up $1 or $2.
Yeah.
Make $1 or $2 a box.
Yeah.
So Blake is manager for Lafayette Shooters. His brother is outside sales for lacrosse.
Oh, wow.
That's how I got on with lacrosse.
Yeah.
So there is most people that sell lacrosse, you have to buy through a third party like Sports South or Ferris Brothers. I'm direct with lacrosse.
Yeah.
So it's only me and Lafayette Shooters in the area that are direct.
That's wild.
It's very cool. You have to do a minimum now. A lot of these companies to go
I'm
direct.
sure it's a big minimum.
It is a big minimum.
Yeah.
I think I had to spend $20,000 to get on, something like that.
Yeah.
But man, I'm the lacrosse guy around here.
Yeah.
Like all the crawfish farmers, everybody, they buy lacrosse boots from me.
Yeah. Like we were talking earlier in the side-by-side, like turtle boxes sell themselves,
Yeah.
lacrosse sell themselves in Louisiana.
It's true.
Like when you think about footwear and Louisiana together, it's lacrosse 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, they do. The Grange knee boot and the Big Chief hip boot, that is their staples.
Yeah.
And that's what I sell the most of. Uninsulated. And I carry a lot of different styles of lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the two.
Yeah, when I was pipelining, I had a pair of their hip boots and a pair of their knee boots.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can tell you, I am not a big fisherman. I have a fishing store. I have 2 of them, and I don't know a lot about fishing.
Yeah.
I listen to everybody else. I'm a hunter. That's why I brought it in there. I just knew that I had to keep fishing because people stopped at the store to fish. I have such a
100%.
huge fishing community.
Yeah.
So we keep shiners, crickets, frozen shrimp, all the different frozen baits in freezers, and the customers go and grab a bag and they check out with it. And
Yeah. So you in a year, your store was popping and doing great, and you liked it so much you bought another one.
I did. That was the goal.
This dude owns more businesses than he owns underwear.
Yeah, no, pretty much. The second one just came as a chance. The store came up for sale, and I wasn't. It was kind of strategic at the same point because if you have to go to Pecan Island, or you have to go to Intracoastal,
Yeah.
you have to pass one of my stores.
Yeah.
So if
I remember you telling me about that. Very strategic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to cross the Forked Island
Unless you go the
Bridge-
way I went.
Yeah. Well, then you.
I went some weird way
That's
today.
it. Yeah, you came through Cow Island.
Yeah.
But if you're going to Pecan Island to fish or anything, you're going to cross the Intracoastal River, and
Oh, I got to stand up for a minute.
yeah, it gets tired
Adjust.
sitting down. And you have to. So my second store is at the foot of the Forked Island Bridge. So I have a huge parking lot. It's your last stop for ice, bait, food, tackle, whatever before you get to your hunting destination. Besides Pecan Island Food Store, which is all the way in Pecan Island.
Yeah.
So that second one, this store's a little bit smaller. I don't have hot food.
You
I have
don't
all the
have
snacks.
fuel, do you?
I don't have fuel at
Yeah.
either one. I wanted to. The problem with fuel is it takes up a lot of real estate in your
It
parking lot.
does. And you don't
And
make a lot of money.
You
on
don't.
fuel.
You make cents per gallon.
Yeah.
It's a huge environmental
It's
thing.
just,
It gets people to stop.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it takes up a lot of parking lot, and it's just a headache.
And it's expensive, I'm sure, to
Yeah, it
gotta
is.
put them tanks in the ground.
You can
and,
find some companies that'll lease you the stuff, or they'll put it there.
You've probably done a lot of research on
I
it.
have, yeah, and you'll put it there for a very small fee, but you make a lot less on the
Yeah.
tank on the fuel. So I've stayed away from that. I let the gas stations be gas stations,
Yeah.
and I call myself a gas station without the gas. I have
Yeah.
everything else.
The one-stop shop.
Convenience store without gas.
Yeah.
So both stores do great. Both stores open up at the same time. One has hot food, one doesn't. They both have all the same stuff. Mojos, we sell some Mojos.
I bet.
Oh yeah, that's my
I
favorite.
bet, dude.
Those new Higdon battleship swimmers.
Dude,
Oh, I
insane.
probably sold 50
You hunted
of 'em.
over them?
Yes.
They're
They're
pretty
wonderful.
sick.
Yeah. You got to put a big weight on them though, man.
Yeah.
They'll pull that weight.
Yeah, they will.
Pulsators. I sold more pulsators this year than I ever have.
Really?
Yeah, pulsators are an awesome key to some live decoy movement.
What's the number one selling item in your store?
As far as quantity, you're gonna laugh. It's gonna be shiners,
Really?
little shiners, and we sell 5,000 shiners a week.
Wow.
But people come in buy 15, 20, 30 at a time. As far as big items, my number one selling highest priced item would be turtle boxes. Then you could throw lacrosse in there after that.
Yeah.
And then during hunting season, it's seasonal. I would say Mojos would be next.
Yeah.
Pulsators, I sold probably 150, 200 pulsators.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, it was very cool. But for sure, turtle boxes are my number one, and I'm such an advocate for them because one, they're a great speaker. And I like getting all the different colors.
Mhm.
Like we just got that. Now I can talk about it, but there wasn't many
Yeah.
dealers that got the new full foliage camo in.
Yeah.
You had to actually move volume in order to get it.
Yeah.
And I was very blessed to be able to get some in. I got 12 of them in. They didn't make a lot.
They didn't make a whole lot.
So like Bottomland sold out. So I said, I'm going to order, I like the limited colors
Mhm.
and they're almost all gone. I think I have 6 left.
Bottomland?
No,
Oh,
full foliage.
okay.
Yeah, I sold 40 Bottomland.
Yeah, I was
and
about to say, how do you still have the
I
Bottomland?
wish.
Dude, I could sell my Bottomland for $1,000
You
tomorrow
could,
if I
yeah.
wanted to. I've done it. Like, I've had people, any show I go to, I typically take the Bottomland and the Quack Shack Louis Vuitton, this one back
Yeah.
here, and I could have sold that one a 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Like,
People want it.
like, there was one time this kid who's probably 18 years old came up to me and was like, really pestering me, wanting to buy it, and I'll sell all of them before I sell that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, bring me $1,000 cash money and you can have that speaker. Because it's like, it's a
can redo
one of
it,
one, like it's just like, it's our speaker. It's
Yeah.
a Quack Shack, you know
It's
what I
a
mean?
cool speaker.
And he was like, okay. Well, he never came back, which is good because I wasn't going to sell him the speaker, but
Yeah.
I just want to see how serious he was.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Look, you'll probably see this, my sweet lab in
Sweet
the video.
dog.
So he is a Southern Oak Kennel. He's a SOK East lab. I was on the waiting list for about a year. My wife can attest to it. Maybe longer than a year. We were hunting in Arkansas, and I was like, man, I've been on the waiting list a year. I haven't heard back. In Arkansas, SOK called us. They were like, hey, we just had a
What?
litter. Yeah, it was crazy. We were having conversation. I was like, it's never gonna happen. You hear about being on the waiting list forever for SOK.
Yeah.
So they called us. They said, but it's in Tennessee, and you gotta. Was it in Tennessee? South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
South Carolina. Yeah, Southern Oak East. It was South Carolina. So we left Arkansas, drove all the way to South Carolina, and picked him
Really?
up. We named him on the way there. We were like, we're gonna call him Major. And turns out the owner of SOK East, his last name is Major.
Oh,
we didn't know that at all.
That's funny.
So we get there, we pick him up. He was the only dog out of the litter of puppies that had a bumper in his mouth, and we were like, we're glad we taken him.
Yeah.
We
Been a good dog.
oh man, he's a wonderful dog. Look, the temperament.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's just so sweet.
Yeah.
These British labs. I've had plenty of American labs and whatnot, but like he turns it on whenever it's on. Whenever it's time to relax and just be a good dog, he relaxes and lays on me.
Yeah.
Sweet dog. We got him trained. I didn't train him. I'm not a trainer.
Yeah.
But my good friend Ryan Perry, he follows the Cornerstones program.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, just turned out to be an awesome dog. He's 2. He probably has. I mean, he's only hunted for 2 seasons. He probably has, I don't know, 500 or 600 birds under his belt, which is nothing compared to some of these guides dogs.
Yeah.
But for I'm gonna call it just a seasonal.
Yeah.
He only hunts whenever we go. He can't hunt teal season.
Yeah.
The alligators are too bad in the marsh.
Yeah.
We can hunt them in the rice fields, but 500 or 600 birds. I wish I'd kept track, but it's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Just a good dog.
Yeah. Dude, I've always wanted. I've never had a hunting dog. I always have friends that
Bring their
multiple
dog.
friends that have, which
Yeah.
most of the time we have too many dogs when we're hunting. So I've never gotten one. I've always been the guy that, supplies everything else. You know what I mean? So like, but one day when my kids get older, I'll probably get me a dog.
Mhm.
They were kind of skeptical about dogs when they were younger, like most kids kind of are.
Yeah.
But one day I'm gonna get me a good dog. I hunt with a guy that he worked for Blazing Gun Dog for several years, and I'll probably have him train him up. He trains all of our friends' dogs, and so, yeah.
It's fun. It's it. What I've noticed is that I used to just be about chasing the ducks, and then whenever I started working major, it was literally just about him. Like I wouldn't even shoot. I'd let everybody else shoot, and I wanted to work him and watch him work.
It's the thing to do.
It's
man.
amazing.
That's the thing to do. We, the past couple of years, we hunted with a ton of different people and with a ton of different dogs, and you can always tell the dogs that have had the most attention and most work versus the dogs who haven't.
Yeah.
Like one time we hunted with a yellow lab, and we were running some clients and for a buddy of mine, and the dog kept chewing on these shotgun shells
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole hunt. Didn't even really care about going to pick up birds. The bad thing is the guy had a lot of money in this dog.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a at-home behavior and how the dog was treated. You know, like
Yeah.
treat them like a pet because that's what they are.
That's
But
it.
at the same time, like you have to keep them disciplined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think there was any discipline going
Yeah,
on.
you
for
just
this
ran
guy.
free, then expected him to hunt.
Yeah, yeah, and then he was getting mad and like talking about like how much money he had in this dog, and we were all like, "Oh, golly,
Yeah,
like,
that's not what it's about,
a lot of
man.
money in this dog," and like it's not. It's all it. If you're not doing the discipline and training
Yeah.
and like little things at home, you know that's another one of the biggest reasons I haven't gotten another dog.
The
is
time.
Yeah, we're gone all the time doing a lot of different stuff, and but one day I grew up with horses,
Yeah.
cows, dogs, you name it, we had it. She didn't,
Uh-huh.
and obviously my kids haven't yet. But like I would love to have two or three dogs.
Yeah, we have 4
I
right.
think she's slowly kind of.
Yeah.
The kids is what's gonna do it. One day, if we get another dog, it'll be because the kids.
Kids want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best.
And I try to put it in their ear every once in a while. You know what I mean?
It's nice having a family dog, that especially one that can go hunt with the kids. And
Oh yeah, of course. You heard that?
yeah, this boy's shedding right now. That's okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
I didn't vacuum him today.
Is that what that
I got
is
a
over
dog
there?
vacuum. Yeah,
Right there.
I brush him with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I saw that. I was like, what is that?
and like
Does it work good?
oh, it works so good. He don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
And then you hit the little button.
Look, we'll buy one of those.
Yeah.
man.
Chasing migration. Are you traveling all over the country or an outfitter that uses a trailer day in and day out to pack your gear, your decoys, whatever it is? Chasing Migration makes the best attachments to go in trailers. They also build some of the best built trailers on the market. You can choose from wader hangers to gas can holders to bag holders to gun racks. They've got a variety of products that you can put in your trailer to make your job even easier. If you're looking to get a trailer built, check out Chasing Migration. Or if you're wanting to add some accessories to your trailer, check out Chasing Migration on Instagram or check them out on the website.
I've never seen that.
I got hair blowing everywhere. Yeah, he sheds a lot. It's just that time of the year.
Yeah. So obviously Chapman's is your main focus.
Yeah, that's my bread and butter.
business-wise right now, and your hobby these days is hunting.
That's it.
But I mean, you're still into the truck stuff.
I'm still into the truck stuff.
You got this massive F-350
Yeah, yeah.
on King Shocks, JTX. That's it.
Yeah.
They're from right down the road from
Yeah.
where we're from. So what if you had to do one thing the rest if you had to do one thing the rest of your life, like run Chapman's,
Mm-hmm.
duck hunt, obviously family that comes
Yeah.
that comes with it.
Natural.
Yeah. So what is your number one thing? Like, what do you look forward to? Say it's duck season. What do you look forward to waking up doing? Like going and trying to take Chapman to the next level, shooting birds.
That's a hard one, man.
Because you do a lot of different things.
Truthfully, I would duck hunt. That is what I'm most passionate about. I figured out early on that I couldn't. It's hard to say I couldn't. I could have if I would have put the time to it. Chapman's came natural.
Right.
Air conditioning came natural. Then it allowed me to duck hunt as much as I could.
Right.
I have to say Chapman's because that's my baby. That's what I've grown.
It allows you to.
It allows me to duck
do
hunt.
everything.
Now, if I woke up tomorrow and won the Powerball, I would just pay all my guys to do whatever they needed at Chapman's, and I would just hunt. I would travel everywhere, and I would just hunt. That is what I love to do. That's my thing.
Yeah.
It's always been my thing, but I always had to work so much.
Yeah.
So I missed out on a lot of hunting in my early teen years, and that's why I'm so adamant about traveling now and hunting in Canada. And, we go everywhere.
We're going to have to link up.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Not here, though.
Yeah, you need to come down for teal season.
I'll come down for
and
teal
then we'll go
season.
somewhere.
Yeah, and then we'll go to, like, Oklahoma or you can come to Saskatchewan with us.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We might be going to Russia next year.
Wow. Man,
That's a possibility. We have a connection over there. So
I always wanted to kill some sea ducks.
yeah, I do too. I'm not
Never
like
done it.
mad at them,
Yeah.
but I want to go. I would be perfectly fine going to the East Coast shoot and going one time.
One time, yeah, in a boat and some 4
Yeah.
foot chops
And shooting, man,
shooting sea
I could
ducks.
see it being a good time. But like maybe it changes. Maybe I go and I just want to do that all the time. But
Yeah.
like I would be perfectly content with going one time and because it looks like a good time.
It does. It looks fun, and they're so beautiful. The birds are
Yeah.
amazing. What are they called? The ones with the orange and yellow beaks.
King Eider.
King eiders.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
There's another one though. I don't ever remember the name. It's not a big, pretty looking. I don't remember the name of it, but that brings me to a question we always ask. You shoot one bird the rest of your life. What bird are you choosing? Mallard, pintail, poodoo, you name it.
one bird the rest of my life.
Like that's what you're hunting.
Part of me wants to say teal right away because it's Louisiana. I freaking love teal hunting.
Yeah, teal hunt's fun. I love
it's
teal
plentiful.
hunting. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the best hunt I've ever had in Louisiana and just say gray ducks.
Gray ducks.
Gray ducks.
That's a great answer. We've had that before. We get wood duck every once in a while. Obviously mallard.
Yeah, everybody wants to kill mallards, pintail. You know, the beautiful ducks. Canvas backs are awesome to kill.
Yeah,
but
we haven't got that one yet. But
we had a great hunt kill us, and it's because it's odd over here. You don't kill canvases often. But
I've, to be quite honest, I don't know if I've ever been a part of a hunt that we've killed canvasback. Maybe 5 different hunts I can think about. Like maybe.
What's yours?
That's a good question. Nobody ever asked me that. I don't have an answer. Man, honestly, I mean, probably mallard.
Yeah.
I do like gadwall a lot though.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot. Like I said earlier, just say gadwall's my second favorite. Mallard's my favorite just because I get to travel all over the country and Canada for them now. Like the past couple of years, we've really taken things to a whole nother level and got to do some cool things. But I can tell you this, I think I could change a lot of people's answers with some of the experiences we've had the past couple of years.
And I'm basing my answer off of one hunt.
Now I'm not trying. I'm anti-mallard purist. I'm not a mallard purist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot gadwall. I'm gonna anything but a coot and a ringneck.
Absolutely.
Anything but a coot and a ringneck, I'll shoot it. A merganger, I'll probably shoot it.
Yeah, and look, we got them over here. We got the fish birds. I mean, they're here.
But unless you've never been under like we were hunting the Pacific Northwest, just that general area once upon a time, a couple times. And unless you've been under a big spin of mallards in a dry field, bro, and I mean, you can do it in Oklahoma, but like it's totally different up there, bro. Yeah. It's even my first time up there was more memorable than going to Canada this year.
Yeah.
It really was. That was maybe because it's the first time I had seen that many birds at one time on top of my head.
Yeah.
But if you've been under a big spin of mallards like that, your answer's probably gonna change.
Yeah.
Like for real.
It's true.
It's insane, bro.
I
came back and I was like, we're moving.
That was the craziest thing
I've told her
ever seen.
we're moving.
Yeah.
And she was kind of down. We didn't do it, but it was insane. Now we saw the same thing in Canada too,
Canada
but like it was different. Just that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just start fun.
Now if it was gadwall or wood ducks, I would probably said gadwall or wood ducks, you know what I mean? But just that one hunt out of all the hunts I've ever been on. And we were hunting some pretty iconic areas.
Yeah.
That week we were up there the first time. And we were hunting this field outside of a neighborhood and a Sonic that we got permission on.
Right down the road.
That hunt was more memorable than hunting like the iconic places that we were hunting.
That's what's so crazy about all those places. Like, I think Oklahoma, maybe. We hunted this 1/10 acre cow pond.
Yeah.
In this guy's backyard, and we killed 9 limits.
Yeah, it's insane.
In like 2 hours.
It's insane.
Where do these birds come from?
Jackson, the guy, my co-host, that missed this podcast, and Jackson, you're skating on thin ice. Missed several podcasts this year, but he missed a lot this year because he was helping a buddy of ours guide, and they killed more widgeon in a week than I've ever seen anybody kill
Wow.
in a week, and that's all they were killing. I don't know what happened. I don't know where all the
Yeah.
other birds were, but like they kill a lot of birds. They
I
kill a
love
lot
killing
of
a widgeon.
they kill a lot of wood duck. I mean, a lot of mallards, a lot of canvasback and redheads, like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, but for a week solid, they were stacking 100 stacks, like 80 to 100. One day they killed over 100. Like now they have guys,
Yeah.
they're guides and they have big, crews out there, and like
Yeah.
they would say, hey, we got 2 groups of 8, like, and they tell them like, hey, we're gonna put y'all together and we're gonna kill more birds than you ever seen. And they would go. The clients would be cool. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. For a week straight, 80 to 100 plus birds every single day, and they were all widgeon, every one of them.
That is unbelievable. We don't kill. I have a widgeon in my freezer downstairs, and like it's because we don't kill them often.
Yeah.
We like hardly ever kill widgeons.
You killed it here?
Yeah, killed it. Here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we might kill like 5 widgeons a year.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, very neat.
Yeah.
I had this one experience with these grays. January 2018, it froze. It didn't snow, but
Yeah.
it froze. And all the roads were closed, and we tried to go hunting in the morning. The bridge was closed. They wouldn't let us go. Came back to the camp next door, slept until about noon, went back. The bridge was open. We were the first ones in Pecan Island,
Oh wow.
besides the locals that lived
That's
there.
pretty rare, huh?
Yeah, it was rare. We were the first truck across the bridge, and
Yeah.
he told us that you're the first one. Be careful. So we get to the land, get to the hole. It's frozen over. This is about, I don't know, probably about 2:00 we got there. We bust a hole the size of this living room, and before we finished breaking the hole, these gray ducks saw moving water from the sky.
Yeah.
They've probably been looking for moving water because all these ponds are frozen. Nobody's hunting.
Yeah.
There's no open water for them to drink or rest or whatever. And we broke open this little hole, and these ducks started dive bombing this hole, and we killed, I don't know, 40. Let me see, what's 48? I don't know. We killed 48 birds in
Yeah.
a matter of 30 minutes. And like that's unheard of in Louisiana
Yeah.
in today's day and age. You just don't do that. All gray ducks.
Oh
And
wow.
it was we were shooting them as they were falling. They were hitting the ice and breaking the ice, and
Yeah.
we couldn't even get back to the blind because we were killing them so fast.
Yeah. That's
And,
crazy. So we were going to Canada this year. I was like, I know we're gonna shoot a banded bird.
Yeah.
Like, I know
Felt
we're
it.
going to. I just know. Like, I felt like we were. We did not shoot any banded birds, but we shot 385 birds in 3 days, which was insane.
Yeah, it's a lot of birds.
So I was perfectly fine with that, but one day we're gonna shoot a banded bird, and it'll be the first. As many ducks as I've shot or been a part of shooting, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I've never mounted one. I was telling you this. I've never mounted one for myself. I mounted one for her, and then I sent one off to get mounted for him, but he lost the duck. So
Oh no.
yeah, he didn't shoot it, but
Yeah.
he was on the
It
hunt.
was part
so
of it. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm hoping I shoot a banded duck this year so I can start mounting
Yeah.
ducks. You know what I mean? It's
That'd
kind
be-
of what
that'd
I'm
be the
waiting
one.
on.
You need to mount your first banded one.
It's kind of what I'm waiting on, but man, it's been good hearing your. I know a lot about your story,
Yeah.
and just because I've known of you, I guess, for
Yeah,
a
so long.
time, and I've just seen your story unfold. But like, it's good to get you on here and just hang out, right? But for you to tell your story on another platform, because you're doing a lot, and I'm very proud of you for like diving into social media as a business owner and like doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
It's-
super cool to watch.
It's interesting. I like sharing the story, and there's so much to share. So it's nice to have an outlet with people like y'all that have a following and is gaining traction
Yeah.
in every industry, the hunting industry, any industry you're in. It's nice to be able to share the story on multiple platforms,
Mm-hmm.
and people know a different version of the story that I've told. Like, this is only the second podcast I've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you invited me on
Yeah.
it. And the first one had nothing to do with hunting. It was just my life.
Yeah.
So I like talking about stuff that I like doing.
Of course.
So it's neat.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So if they're not already following, tell them where they can follow you at.
You can follow me on Facebook, just Seth Chapman. It's a picture of me and my wife, my little girl. I'm verified on there solely because I do a lot of giveaways,
Yeah.
not because I want to be verified.
Yeah.
But it's because you do a lot of giveaways. You got to have a legit page.
100%.
Instagram, Chapman_DMax, the
Mhm.
original
That's
Instagram
the
tag.
original.
I thought about
I was
changing
telling
it
you that
so
today.
many times.
I told him today. I said, dude, you don't even daily. I didn't know you daily drive a
Yeah.
DMAX still, but like, you don't really see you in a Duramax. So I was like, dude, you need to change your Instagram.
I've
man.
thought about changing
But-
it to something more professional, but I'm like, man, everybody knows me by it. So
Yeah, leave it, dude.
yeah. Snapchat, same thing, Chapman_DMax, and TikTok is Chapman Compound. Same thing on YouTube, Chapman Compound. I don't have a lot of YouTube, but if you want to follow me, subscribe on YouTube. Look, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Find me on YouTube. Same thing as TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're in the Louisiana, Lafayette area, I guess, wherever your coverage is,
That's it.
and you need an AC, it's about to get hot.
Yeah, Chapman's AC and Heating. You can find the number absolutely anywhere.
Anywhere.
1,000+ Google reviews. I'm so proud of that.
Yeah.
Google actually
That's a big
just
deal.
took away like 400 reviews not long ago, and they reinstated them. I think the count was wrong.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, 1,000+ Google reviews.
You have
I'm
to
very adamant.
You have to go and talk to them.
It was like nationwide. Their count, their counter was bad. So all the reviews popped back up. So yeah, Chapman's AC and Heating,
Google.
Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
Google, whatever.
Yeah.
We're on a lot of platforms. Perry Outfitters, Island Bait and Tackle.
Yeah. He's got a lot going.
Chapman Farms. We didn't even touch on my farms. I got crawfish and rice.
You'll see that next week after you watch this, unless you're watching it in December or whatever. But we're doing a video with him doing catching the best crawfish. I think honestly, I'm not just saying that like I told you earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it was so fresh. Obviously, the taste was great.
Pond to table. We went catch them in the crawfish boat. We came back and bought them.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a chance to get cold or refrigerated or anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. As someone who my wife loves crawfish.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot. So that was pretty cool.
It was
to bam like that. But yeah, man. He's got a crawfish farm too, so like maybe we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah,
I forgot to even think about that. But thank y'all for tuning into another episode of the Quack Shack podcast. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. I don't know what else to say, dude. We get a lot of views, but they ain't subscribing. I don't know what's going on. So hit the subscribe button if you're not following us on Instagram at the Quack Shack podcast. TikTok's the same. Appreciate y'all tuning into another episode. We'll see you next time.